You're claiming that Theresa May could and therefore should have sought to negotiate a future relationship that retained freedom of movement.
I favour joining the EA. This is my view. Whether she would have done it is another matter.
Yes.
But I favour joining the European Economic Area and remaining in a customs union. That would still enable us to do one or two things in the way I set out a moment ago, but
yes,
that would solve the problem of the border in Northern Ireland.
But you accept that you would have to explain to the Brexit lobby, particularly the hard Brexit lobby, that we were keeping freedom of movement, and they'd say, but that's what the will of the people voted to abolish. You'd take that fight.
I think one would, because we'd still be leaving the institutions of the European Union out of the camp.
But these people can't tell you what the institutions of the European Union are. They just don't like hearing people speaking Polish on buses.
Well, I don't think that that is the case. The fact is, people have come from all parts of Europe and indeed all parts of the world.
I know that, and you know that, but I'm asking whether you'd have been up for the fight with the people who quite boldly and you know who their cheerleaders and their heroes are, and they say, I voted to leave the European Union because there's too many foreigners in Tesco's.
Well, do you know, James, I had a lot of conversations with people during the referendum, and there were some people who said that, but I also met a lot of people who said, look, I want control of immigration, but I'm not arguing that we should bring immigration to an end, because I recognise, people would say, the need for care workers, for scientists, for heart surgeons, and all of the people who are contributing along with all the people who were born and brought up in the United Kingdom. And you take something like the social care crisis. You know, we have an increasing elderly population, who do we think is going to be helping us to get up in the morning, changing our sheets, washing our faces, a cheery word, bringing us a cup of tea? Yes. We're going to need continuing migration, but the argument was about control.
And this amendment that would effectively have spared Theresa May the humiliation of a crushing defeat tonight, the proposal would have killed off both her deal and would have prevented a no-deal Brexit. First of all, have I understood that correctly? Second of all,
that's correct, yes.
Why have you withdrawn it then?
For three reasons. The first is there are some MPs who, like me, reject very strongly the idea of leaving with no deal, but they are committed to back Mrs May deal today, so they wouldn't have been able to vote for my amendment. Secondly, I was in the end persuaded of the argument we need a clean up and down vote on her deal so that we can see the full scale of what is likely to be Parliament's rejection of it. But thirdly, and most importantly, there is now the possibility of ensuring that we don't leave without an agreement, both because I don't think Parliament will allow it to happen, and we have Nick Bowles's bill that I think will be published later today that would give Parliament the opportunity to pass legislation to instruct the government to extend Article 50 so that we don't fall off the edge of the economic cliff at the end of March. And in my view, there is clearly a majority in the House of Commons for ensuring that that does not happen.